Hello everybody, Dylan here. Now today we are going to be reading a Crappypasta. Today's Crappypasta is called Shadow's Little Helper. Let's get into reading this today on DHT. I can't take it anymore. He controls me and I can't stop it. He is pure evil. And then the story starts off like normal, meaning that this story is somehow posted after the author has been either captured or killed by the spooky ghosts of this story. So I am deeply confused. If you're captured or being mind controlled or whatever, how did you write and publish this story? Do you have internet in wherever you are? And if you are being mind controlled, how can you write a story? I'm sure Shadow wouldn't want this. I'm just deeply confused and we're only at the first sentence. This all started the day I got a Nintendo GameCube from my friend as she didn't want it. He says this now, but what he means to say is he stole it because his friend left it in the room. It came with the Shadow the Hedgehog game. He says but I think he means the Shadow the Hedgehog game, seeing how there has only been one and not multiple games starring Shadow the Hedgehog all by himself. I asked her about the game as it had no cover art. He says he asked her, but in a second you'll realize there's no way he could have asked her. And it was replaced by some masking tape with the word Shadow the Hedgehog in all caps written on it with a Sharpie. But it turned out that she had moved away and I didn't know her number. I read that properly because the way he wrote it was she moved and I didn't know the number. The number could mean anything, so I corrected the sentence for him. Also, he said she just randomly moved away, so there was no way he could have asked her to begin with, making his previous sentence a lie. But now I know why. Anyway, I put the game in the console and it started up fine, and he actually does something that most writers don't do. He clarifies how he knows what fine is, because he says that he had seen other people play the game and he had actually played a round of it before. I don't know what a round of Shadow the Hedgehog is, maybe one level, maybe one route, I have no clue, but at least he thought ahead, unlike most people who write terrible stories. But once I had got the intro where Shadow says the name haunts him and that he faintly remembers Maria, but the background was a little weird. The sky was darkened and the grass that was once green and alive, I don't see how it's alive seeing how the world is being lit on fire and destroyed in Shadow the Hedgehog, but whatever, was now yellow, goldish and dead. Everything is dead. The sky is red. Aliens are popping in and presumably eating people. You can't make the setting of Shadow the Hedgehog more spooky than it already is. Shadow spoke with a fairly distorted voice too, using the wrong to. How spooky. I thought that it was a stupid glitch. Yes, the glitch is stupid, as the game was pretty old. Why would the game be glitching because it's old? Does your friend not take care of their disc? I have no clue why you think age would affect a disc, but whatever. But it wasn't. Then I started to play through Westopolis, and I could see, lowercase I, that there was no gun soldiers or black aliens. Ooh, how spooky. There's no one in this apocalyptic world. How terrifying. It was pretty weird. Then I went on to the next level. Although the level, Shadow kept having these flashbacks about Maria's death, and that kind of ruins the whole point of the game if he has all the flashbacks in the second level, seeing how one of the main things about the game was uncovering your past, but whatever. I could see on his face he had an expression which implied he was either in pain or in regret. Way to be able to tell how facial expressions work. Here's a golden star, but this isn't really scary. This happens in the regular game. What makes this unique? The fact that there's no soldiers? The fact that the sky is dark? Oh wait, it was already dark. How is this a creepypasta? This is just Shadow the Hedgehog. All the levels were the same. No obstacles or missions, because this is a generic creepypasta. You should be used to this by now. I know I sure am after 3 years. Then the time came for the boss battle to come, but it didn't. That sentence is so poorly structured, I'm not even gonna tell you what's wrong with it. Just rewind and listen to that again. Instead, Sonic was standing there with Knuckles, Vectors, Tails, Charmy, Espio, Rouge, and Dr. Robotnik. I'm gonna assume they were T-posing because all these characters in one spot, it has to be development hell. Shadow beat all of them without me even using using the controller. Well, that kind of happens in the game already. I know he doesn't beat all of those characters, but he definitely does beat the crap out of Robotnik and Sonic, killing both of them depending on which route you pick. Yeah, that's why this story doesn't work well with creepypastas, because in the game, you can actually kill people. In the game, some characters actually die, characters that are important to the franchise, but whatever, spooky. He then looked at everyone screaming in pain. Was he screaming in pain? Was everyone screaming in pain? I have no clue because you structured that sentence so terribly. And then he had a sad expression on his face. Well, I don't get what happened. Did he kill them? You didn't say he killed them. He just said someone was screaming in pain. I have no idea what's going on here. He looked directly at me because I'm all that matters in this story. This story is about me, and said, "You made me do this." Actually, no, you did this. You took control of the game and you beat the crap out of those people. This guy just wandered an empty stage for 5 minutes. Don't judge him. This is all on you. And now you will pay and become my slave. Oh no, I thought this was a creepypasta. I didn't know that this was turning into a bad fanfic reading. Please don't let this be 50 Shades of Shadow. He still had that slightly distorted voice. Oh yeah, that's the part that's important. That's the part we care about. His distorted voice. Then the console immediately shut itself off, and so did the telly. The telly, really? I get that you're probably British, but do you really have to let it show? You're trying to be spooky right now. Just say television. And I heard a breathing, and it wasn't mine. You could have worded that better. I looked behind me and saw a Shadow plushie with an angry look on its face. You know, because Shadow isn't always angry, therefore his merchandise will be angry. That was the last thing I saw. Now I'm his slave, and so is my friend. I don't like the direction this story is going. It went from G to fucking XXX really quickly. I don't like the route this story is going. I'm gonna assume slave just means you do work for him, and I'm gonna assume that this isn't a fetish. I'm gonna be nice. I'm gonna assume that this isn't the worst case scenario. The only difference is my friend is dead. So then you're not enslaved with your friend because your friend is dead. You can't do anything if you're dead. You're not both dead because you said you're alive and you know what living and dead is. So I'm deeply confused at what you're trying to say. She died while saying no to Shadow. What was she saying no to? Is consent something Shadow doesn't allow? Now I'm gonna assume that this is rated X. I can't give you the G rating anymore. I'm sorry. I have to assume it's some weird kinky fetish shit. He killed her straight away. He now controls me and makes me kill anyone he doesn't like. So beware. If he can mind control people, why didn't he just mind control your friend when she said no and made her say yes? That is completely pointless. If he takes away your free will, why didn't he just take away her free will? This story made no fucking sense. The story was generic, cliche, and for the few twists that most creepypastas wouldn't take, this one has 10 times more cliches to make up for that little bit of originality. I'd say the main problem is that he chose an already creepy-esque game to try and make a creepypasta out of, when usually they pick more bright and cheery games, so when it gets creepy you can actually tell the difference. Meanwhile in Shadow the Hedgehog, I don't think you realize this, but the fucking apocalypse happens, people are dying everywhere, and it's already dark as is, making your story come off as goofy. I hope you guys enjoyed that reading. It was fun recording this. I like to take a little bit of a break between videos every now and again, but here lately I've actually been finding some creepypastas that I really like. And as you guys may notice, that the thumbnails now have professional art done on them. The art was done by Distort. You can go follow him on YouTube, Twitter, or whatever else he goes on. His art credits will be listed in the description below for now on under Crappypasta thumbnail. Thank you Distort for doing these thumbnails. It really motivates me to do more videos like this. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this. If you did, hit the like button. If you really like it, share it. And if you want to see more content like this, then subscribe. Thank you guys for watching, and bye. Hello there, kids. It's me, Baldy. Today, I'm gonna be teaching you how to donate to my Kickstarter. The first thing you want to do is take your mom's credit card. The second thing I need you to do is enter your social security number. And the third thing is give me $500.